Hi, my name is Jessica Phillips, and my written assignment is going to be on birth defects caused by in utero exposure to polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons. So, my presentation today is on polycyclic hydrocarbons and the type of birth defects it causes. Polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons are composed of 100 different type of chemicals and carbons and other elements. They're formed by the incomplete burning of coal, oil, gas, garbage, or other organic materials. They can occur naturally in the environment, such as volcanoes or forest fires, or they can be manufactured, which basically means the pollution that comes from a factory or other man-made substance like that, like a car or other air pollution. And it mostly is the soot or the ash that is in smoke. The different effects of polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons range based on how often humans are exposed or how much exposure they do. It can be low or high, or people can be exposed to it daily or not exposed to it as much as others. And this would affect what types of disease or harmfulness will come out of the interaction with it. People can breathe it in. That's the most common way for people to be exposed to it. You can also actually eat it by eating certain types of meats that have been barbecued or charred or anything like that, cooked with coal or anything. It can also irritate your skin, and it can be skin-on-skin contact that you are exposed to the hydrocarbons. Long-term effects usually are can cause cancer and other like respiratory problems. Short-term effects usually only cause maybe a slight irritation depending on how much they are exposed to. Long-term effects can also cause damage to different organ systems in the body, and it can also cause birth defects for pregnant mothers. A birth defect is any problem that can occur during or after pregnancy to the fetus. There's many different kinds of birth defects. Polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons are being found to be causing some of these birth defects. The most common one that is causing is called neural tube defects, and there's also other types of hernias that it is causing. Spina bifida is a type of neural tube birth defect. It is caused by polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons. It occurs when the bones around the spinal cord do not grow properly, so it almost misses a part. It's almost like a cleft that's on the spinal cord. The severity of the disease can range from mild to severe. Mild is the most common way to find it, and it really is only that bulge or that cleft on the cord. The more severe cases leave an actual visible large bulge, and in some cases the nerves are actually exposed on the outside of the body, which then reconstructive surgery will have to take place. Depending on the severity depends on the likelihood of survival for the child that is affected. Anencephaly is another type of neural tube birth defect that is caused by polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons. It occurs when the development of the brain, skull, and scalp is incomplete. So basically, the front part of the brain stops growing along with the skull and the scalp. So not only is half of the brain missing, but the brain is also exposed. The survival of this birth defect is very rare and not likely because the child doesn't have the thinking skills, the reflexes like eating, like basic survival that is inept in your brain, the child doesn't have because of this birth defect. Survival is very unlikely, and children that do survive are very, very dependent on their parents for the rest of their lives. Gastrocesis is another type of birth defect caused by polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons. It isn't a neural tube birth defect, but it is similar in the fact that it occurs because something else stops growing, like the skin of the stomach stops growing, so the intestines are born outside of the baby. The hole can be large to small. It can be mild to severe, just like the other birth defects. Surgery is needed shortly after the baby is born in order for it to survive, and even after surgery, the infants may suffer from digestive issues for the rest of their life. The current issues with polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons are that pregnant women are being exposed to them in the workplace and maybe just in their day-to-day lives, and their babies are getting birth defects. These risks increase for women that live in highly populated areas such as India, China, and the US, in industrial cities where air pollution is more common. Um, Even though, sometimes pregnant women take a maternity leave, these birth defects can be started in just the first to 3 weeks of pregnancy. So early exposure, maybe if women didn't know they were pregnant yet, they can still be exposed to these chemicals, and the risks are still there for the birth defects. Thank you for watching my presentation on polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons. I will be further looking into women in the workplace that are being exposed and then later have children with birth defects in my writing assignment, and I hope you enjoyed it.